Welcome back to X3 Terran Conflict. Okay, where we left off last time, we had just completed the Terran campaign. Okay, I said that we were going to start working on our Boran faction so we could start the hub plot before we start the Final Fury missions. Because the hub plot takes a long time, there's no point in focusing solely on that when you do that. But first, today, let's deal with some of our trade issues. Now, if you've been watching my cash, I've barely gotten any money from this solar power plant here so far. This is because of the fact that it gains money so slowly because there's too many solar power plants in the area to compete against. Instead, let's turn some of this energy into something that's more useful. Now, to do this, you take a look in the surrounding sectors and determine what the sectors need. While they need a lot of power, they actually need a lot more of other things as well. For example, these Kahuna bakeries are almost always out of Delaxian wheat. Now, I went ahead and off camera, I tallied everything up. There are four medium cattle farms in the area. That's worth 8 points of resources, where a medium is worth 2 points each and a large is worth 5 points. An extra large is worth 10 points, but that's a moot point because of the fact that the only extra large factory is solar power plant, and they don't exactly follow the same rules. Okay. Now, as far as wheat farms, there's 4 wheat farm factories, but 2 are large. That's 14 points of wheat. But still, we see that the Kahuna bakeries are almost always out of wheat, so what's up with that? Well, looking in the surrounding sectors, going all the way out to Niana's hideout, all the way up to Heretic's End, and all the way down to Nathan's Voyage. After there's no more food factories anywhere. You find out there's a total of 36 points of Kahuna bakeries, 14 points of Rhymes Facts, which also use wheat, and 2 more space fuel refineries, which use wheat as well, for a total of 54 points of wheat need, versus the 36 points of cattle need. Because of this, we can make money with both wheat and cattle, but until someone starts making more wheat, cattle is going to be a limited market. So today we're gonna look for some large wheat farms to add to a complex here in our sector. Unfortunately, the only Argon shipyard, because Argons are the ones that deal with wheat and cattle. The only Argon shipyard. By the way, there's a J. Let's stay out of his way for a while. The only shipyard here only sells the medium wheat farm, which is worth 2 points. I'd rather have a large one, because that's worth a lot more points and it'll get us more money in the long run. So, we're going to have to look for another Argon sector with another shipyard. And this shipyard doesn't count. It doesn't carry any of the food-producing factories. So, we're going to be going and exploring in this direction today. Well, not up there. Over to the left of 2 grand. This will require us to go through a couple of pirate sectors and stuff until we're probably going to first find it in Argon Prime. Okay, once we get there and once I've purchased stuff, I'm going to show you how to hire a large transport, and then I'll off-screen the trip back where I basically have to bodyguard the transport. Once we have our own, we can equip it with a jump drive and it becomes a lot easier. But those things can be expensive, and it'll probably be the first 20 million we spend. So, let's go off. Let's start off by flying through the West Gate here. I said fly through the West Gate. I didn't say fly to the West Gate.
Jump device charging at 10%, 20, 30, 40.
Doing an analysis of the local market
60,
is often a good thing when you're planning a new factory.
80, 90, jumping.
That way you know if you're going to actually make money or if you're going to have to deal with competition. If you don't have to deal with much competition, you can often make max profits all the time.
Entering system, autopilot off.
Okay, let's turn around and through to the first sector that I have not explored in this direction.
Entering system. Patriarch's Keep.
Okay. For the record, I don't remember where the gates are out this direction. I might have to go north first. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep an eye out for
The split space
advanced satellites, just in case. I eventually want to get advanced satellites in all the sectors that I trade with, just for safety's purposes. It looks like we're going to have to go north first. But we have a CAC over here. Let's take care of him first. There you are. And while we're waiting to catch up to him, I also forgot one other thing. Our system trader here, he's idle right now, but he's finally reached Paymaster 9, so we should be able to tell him to work in multiple sectors. He can go up to 2 jumps now, so we're gonna stick him in Jupiter. That way he could travel as far south as Heretic's End, or all the way out to Jupiter 3, or up to Saturn 2, or Titan, or Uranus.
Command accepted.
Now he will travel multiple sectors in order to make his deals. And become a little more active and productive in the meantime. Hey, you CAC, leave that civilian ship alone.
Now in firing. Test control ready.
Yeah, take that.
The family Ronkar and the Split Dynasty are appreciative of your valuable assistance.
Okay, now we just gotta go north and continue our search. I believe we gotta fly through the asteroids here. Now, just in case you've been wondering, human space here, Heretic's End, is almost in the middle. The middle's like around $2,000 of the universe. So, what we're doing is we're flying all the way to the left edge. Unfortunately, the Argon tend to be pretty spread out. We might find it before, maybe cloud-based southwest, but there's over 200 sectors in this universe here. And we will eventually want plenty of money to spend things on. Just a note, I'm currently a Terran Senatorial Advisor. I need to get up to at least Warrior of EO in order to buy some of the weapons I want.
Entering system. Chose defeat.
Now we can already see that there's 2 gates here. I'm going to go explore the far one before taking a left. There we see another elephant in the lower right over there. That is actually the TL I would prefer to have, and will probably be the first one I buy. They have the lowest amount of cargo space, but they also move the fastest, and have a decent array of defensive weaponry. They also happen to be the cheapest. Go figure. But when you're dealing with TL, the cargo space, if you got enough cargo room for one station and complex construction kit, you're pretty much good to go. That's about all you ever really need. And all of them have at least room for 2 of each, in most cases.
Barkha's Sun.
We are flying through more split space out here, though. And look at that planet there. Looks like we're pretty close to it. One thing about the split is they're divided. Their family, their hierarchy of their political hierarchy is divided up into families, kind of like a mafia. But it's like they're all organized and more or less with each other. I mean, there's infighting here and there, but that's mostly how it works. The Bourne have a monarchy. The Argon, I'm not exactly sure what they have other than a military, but from what I understand, they're the remaining humans that were left behind when Terrans broke contact with the rest of the Commonwealth. Of course, the Teladi have their CEO and their corporate structure, and the Paranid are a religious structure.
Entering system. Wrong cars. Clouds.
Do I have to go south or straight? I know we got a gate over here. Sorry, it's been a while since I've explored these sectors. I don't want to end up taking the long route to explore there. I'll show you all the sectors eventually. But in the meantime, I'd rather just get to the most direct route possible and keep the exploration segments short. Yes, we can go straight. I do know that if we go north at the wrong point in any of these junctures, we'll be trapped in split space until we either go back south or go far enough north to exit into Teladi space. On the other hand, if we keep going straight, we'll eventually start entering pirate space, which is not owned by any faction. Oh yeah, and one other thing. I mentioned the space fuel as one of the things that require wheat. Space fuel is made by the Argons, and is considered illegal by all races except the Teladi and the Terrans. I don't know why the Terrans don't consider it illegal, but they don't consider anything illegal. But space fuel is basically Argon whiskey. Okay. Now, it's not illegal to bring goods to a space fuel station. It's not illegal to own one, but it's illegal to carry the stuff.
Entering system.
So putting that in Argon space is perfectly... Actually, I think it's illegal to have one of those in Argon space as well. The Argon will shoot it down. Unless it's an NPC station, which they'll just completely ignore it. Odd. But, yeah, here we gotta go south, so I'm gonna explore the north here first. And we are really close to one of their planets. But, if I put a space fuel station in my sector, so long as I don't have my, logistics agents, running space fuel, NPCs will come and buy it, and then leave with it, and I don't have to worry about the fact that they get blown up. Sounds like a fair deal to me. And they don't ever seem to learn either. I just keep making money. So that might be a money maker for later. Especially since I'm building all sorts of wheat farms up there now. They need it. But I'm going to have to balance it with both wheat and cattle. Because later on I'll be needing to produce some sort of food in order to feed my own stations. And since I can get a large cattle ranch and a large kahuna bakery nearby, it would make sense for me to use that first. Some of these sectors, the planet is so close you could actually accidentally fly into it when traveling around.
Entering system. Family. Wrong car.
So far, that's our trip that we've taken. Now, which way do we go? Do I head straight south, or is it another right? Looks like everyone's heading south, so I doubt there's a right exit here. Usually the traffic in this sector will tell you where the next gate is. But we're leaving split core worlds and going back into their border worlds. We should be in pirate space soon. We might travel through a Talati border sector to get there. There's just all these little itty-bitty rocks around. I see ships over here, but not many. And flying through a sector like this plays havoc with CETA, because every time you get close to a rock, it's gonna do that to give you a chance to react to the rock, even if it's not directly in your path. Now, the gate should be on the other side of this rock, or it could be up here. I can just barely make it out. Now, I mentioned that solar power plants don't follow the same rules as other stations. Well, there's a reason behind it. You see, you've noticed with my solar power plant, before it started making power, I had to buy some crystals for it. That's because crystals are a primary resource for player solar power plants. At the same time, crystals are a secondary resource for NPC solar power plants, so they do not require crystals, they just produce extra power. On top of which, they also produce an extra amount of power than what you'd expect, and then it's multiplied by the number of suns in the area, and most solar power plants you'll find in sectors with 150% sunlight. So it just becomes extra tricky calculating how much power this area is going to need, and it's better just to find yourself a calculator somewhere than trying to do it in your head.
Thurok's beard.
Now here we should be able to find a gate to the right there. Of course, the sector has an interesting name, Thurok's beard. I guess they're talking about how that kind of looks like a beard, maybe. I don't know. You know how people tend to name stars in sectors and stuff? It sometimes doesn't make the most sense to the average person. Oh wait, we got a satellite factory. But they don't have any satellites. Well, we gotta get one.
Space equipment dogs.
Not enough for me to stop for. Yes, I know that transport is near me. Stop dropping me out. Oh yeah, that ship right there, the one which kind of looks like it has a transport icon that's a little weird. That's actually a transport medium instead of a transport small. It can actually transport a few fighters. It can be useful, and I may buy one eventually, but they're not really combat vessels. They're more like escort. They escort another ship and launch fighters if it's under attack.
Entering system. Company Pride.
Yep, here we gotta go through a Talati sector. I believe we go straight. If we go right, we go right into Talati space, where we'll find their homeworld. Hopefully in Rebirth, they will design it so that the races are a little more active in fighting against each other. I'm not just talking about making all the races fight, but make it so that the supposed wars that are going on actually have some sort of visible effect. For the most part, you can almost ignore the fact that the races are at war. Okay. It looks like we might have to go north, because I'm not finding a gate. So maybe we'll have to go through a little bit of Talati space before we get to pirate space. And after pirate space, we'll have Argon space. And it looks like this video is just going to be of me getting to the place where I buy the station, at which point I'll have to start the next video, because we're quickly running out of time.
Entering system. CO Sprite.
And there is a Talati, a large transport. You can tell by the icon there. Their ships tend to be pretty damn boxy. And there's their unique shipyard. But we should have a gate over here somewhere. No promises. I mean, I'm not 100% accurate in my memory. And I don't have a map in front of me. It might be more towards the planet. I don't know. I don't see anyone going over that way past the station, so it probably isn't one. We're probably going to have to head north one more sector. Just heads up. That's our path so far. It might have been smarter for me to have done this in my Jaguar, but there were enemy ships about, and I didn't want to take any chances. Plus, the Jaguar, you would have had to watch me fly through all those intervening sectors. Gate, where are you? I know there's another gate in this sector. It's not a dead end. Okay. There are ships over here somewhere. Up here? Oh, there's the gate. I had a feeling it was towards the planet. I just didn't realize it'd be the north gate towards the planet. Once again, you've seen me use local traffic to identify where the gate was. It's often the best way.
Entering system. Blue Prophet.
Now, this sector should have a gate over here. There's obviously North Gate directly ahead of us. Oh, come on. Are you telling me I gotta go up all this way before I can get into the pirate space? I thought there was a way down below it. Anyway, this is becoming really informative, I guess, in how to get around the universe. Are you sure that there's no gate over here? I mean, I could see all that way. I could see that gate from across the sector, so I'd assume I'd see a gate over there. But I only see traffic in that direction. Well, once again we go north. We'll find our way.
Entering system.
Aha, here's a gate.
Raider Prophet.
So let's just quickly grab the gate up top. And then head west. You know, they use north, south, east, and west here, but there really isn't any difference. North, south, and east and west is only based on planet's gravitational field. Has no bearing in space. It's really up, down, left, to right, but I guess it sounds better using the map directions. I guess technically you could say that this is map west, but that's just because of the fact that the map is oriented the way it is. It certainly has no magnetic differentiation.
Entering system. Spaceweed drift.
And here we are in the pirate sectors. Or, actually, this is a Talati border sector. Interesting. Oh yeah, I guess that Talati do make spaceweed. And somewhere around here is a gate. It's either going south or straight. Seeing as I don't see many ships going south, I'm going to assume it's straight. Of course, we have that star in our eyes. Makes it kind of hard to tell what's ahead of us. Oh yeah, if you are not sure about how to get around certain areas, don't be afraid to check out the missions with the price tag symbol. While I said that most of them are involved in making money, the trade aspect of the game, some of them are actually involved in selling maps. And while they are usually complete, they're sometimes partial, but it can get you some interesting sectors. Now, where is that gate? Don't tell me we've got to go north again. Because if we got to go north again, I know I took a wrong turn somewhere. Yeah, there's the north gate. I must have taken a wrong turn. Well, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video, and next episode will be Lost in the Universe Part 2. I'll see you then.